Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we are going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph. We're going to be addressing the overall market, right? Because there's a lot of things to actually keep in mind. Now, I do pretty much do this on a daily basis to really give you guys an idea on what's happening in the market, where we could be headed, and so forth. So, with that being said, let's actually talk about some stuff. So first and foremost, we're going to be talking about just the idea on where we are actually headed in terms of price action on HBAR. I do have a lot of targets set in terms of my buys and even sells. Now, I might do some more transparency, in terms of buys on the website. But for now, I just want to have the exit strategies on there. I will have more, news regarding insights into my portfolio and all that kind of stuff. But right now, I really just want to talk to you guys about the overall market. So let me refresh. So overall, the overall market is down about 0.25%. We are sitting at about a $2.08 trillion market cap. This actually hasn't changed much at all. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is huge for us because we really need to watch for tomorrow. Now, obviously, tonight is huge. We have the overall weekly close for HBAR. We also have the weekly close for Bitcoin and the overall market. I'm expecting some volatility, to be completely honest with you, tomorrow. The prices for right now, HBAR looks solid. Everything looks good. But if you guys are looking to buy HBAR, tomorrow will most likely be the day to buy it, just to give you guys that insight. Now, right now, we do see on the 7-day span, things look fairly bearish. I mean, we can't ignore the fact that Bitcoin's down 12.63% on the 7-day. We even see Ethereum down 16%, and we see most, altcoins following it as well. Now, in regards to HBAR actually has been doing some fairly good moves. We're sitting at number 45. We're up about 20.78% on the 7-day span, sitting at nearly almost a $4 billion market cap now. And we do see that the volume is still there, right? We're only down about almost 8% on the volume aspect. We're still sitting at about almost 705 million. That is fluctuating, as we do see on the screen right now. But we did see some exciting news last night, guys. We seen us hitting 40 plus cents. So, in regards to that, let's actually talk about HBAR's price chart. So overall, I've been telling you guys that this looks very bullish, not bearish, wow. But overall, this is very bullish, right? We topped out a little bit at some resistance, as you guys do see up there. I have it laid out on the chart. Now, overall, in terms of where our actual resistance points are, our support zones and so forth, is pretty much where we settle. These lines up here is just where we topped out a little bit. These are where we pretty much hit nice resistance points in the past. But overall, when you look at something like this in terms of a chart, mostly the main support is actually here at around 36.3. That is why we always pull back to 36. For an example, I've seen a lot of people saying today, wow, we had some volatile price action. We pulled back from 39 cents down to 36 cents. That's a huge pullback. It's actually not, because this is actually a main support zone, especially even going back to the weekly chart. Now, where is the main resistance points? Well, that is pretty much where the top of these lines are. For example, we have a resistance point at 40 cents. We broke over it and we topped out a little bit at about 41.5 cents, but that is also a resistance point from the daily chart. Overall, where are we grasping support at? It's about this 36 cent zone. We actually don't really have too much support up here. And realistically speaking, the major resistance points are around that 37.5, even 30, almost 9 exact. And then up there is pretty much around that 40 plus cent zone. But I do think that we are ranging to have a major breakout event, hopefully this week. I think that is where we will see the breakout of the all-time high plus. And don't get me wrong, all-time highs are coming, and I think that is going to be happening by the end of the month, no doubt. So overall, things look very, very good for us. I think that we could see a slight lower price action happening in the coming days if Bitcoin does allow it. Now, in regards to what is the main price holding marks to actually watch for, well, if we do get some volatile price action, if we do break down a little bit, I would like personally to see 35 cents being held here, or if that doesn't get held, somewhere around this nice support zone down here at about 31.5. So if we don't hold that, we'll obviously come down and retest maybe the 200-day MA, or maybe we'll just retest a lower low, sitting at around 28.6, 28.7, somewhere around that pattern, or some major, pretty much support down here at about 27 and 27.2 almost. Now, in regards to this, I think that this is where the good buys are, but we don't necessarily need to drop too much. In regards to Bitcoin, right, we really don't need to drop much at all. We are ranging on $45,000 right now. And overall, on the weekly chart, this looks still very good. But as we do see, Bitcoin is ranging on a nice support zone, even going back to, and we do see this back in February and even March. Now again, this is on the weekly, but we are ranging on this. So if we do break down, we will retest 42K. We will. That is pretty much the next pinpoint of where we will retest. Now this goes back to even the resistance points of pretty much July 26th. So I think that overall we did hit this fairly solid when we did pull back. So if we do retest this and we don't hold and we actually break down below it, we will retest 40K with even lower lows sitting at about 38K or so. Now overall, there is a lot to actually watch for in terms of Bitcoin, because we also see Bitcoin dominance actually dropping as well. But I'm still watching for the September month being pretty much just a sideways trading, pattern. For an example, I do have on the daily chart this nice 21-day consolidation pattern, and it honestly looks like we are playing into that perfectly, going even back to the 4-year cycle. I am not going to change my stance on that. I still think that we will have to range for about another 15 days, so roughly about 2 weeks and 1 day. And where will that put us? Well, it will put us on the 27th of September, and I think that that will be the end of this nice downward pressure, sideways momentum. Right now we are trading below the 200 and also the 50-day MA, so we look a little bit bearish. Looks like we could retest the 100-day MA, pretty much reach down to 40K. Who knows what will happen? But overall, volatile, price action could play out this week, as we do know that we are ranging to have the indices open, and the indices did not close fairly well on Friday, so who knows what the actual open will look like. I am expecting us to have some good buys tomorrow. We'll probably see some parabolic moves, or I shouldn't say parabolic moves, but some solid moves on HBAR tonight to really close out the week. But I think that tomorrow will basically be a little bit volatile, and we'll most likely see some downward pressure on Bitcoin. We'll also see some downward pressure on HBAR as well. But I'm not going to undermine the idea that we did top out a little bit, and we did break a little bit above resistance, as we do even go back to April 13th and also April 14th to really hit that nice solid resistance. Again, it was expected. I said that there is quite some resistance up here in these 40s, and it is what it is. But we are solid above some solid resistance levels, and we are ranging on that support level as well. It is fairly strong. Let me move this down just a little bit. Overall, right now we are below this resistance point, which is about at that 38.8, almost 39 cents exact. So obviously what I want to see is a hold above 39 cents to retest that 41, almost 42 cent zone, really hold above that, and then we could pretty much just target all-time high. I think that we get to the all-time high fairly fast. In terms of HBAR's overall price chart, I think that we did very well on the Bitcoin chart, as we do see that we are still ranging on this as an all-time high. This is the highest price action that we've seen, even going back to March of 2020. Now we are ranging a little bit below that, but we did, pretty much reach above it. So overall, what I want to see is just this continuing up, right? Now, I don't want to see this drop down. I don't think it will. I think that this kind of continues up a little bit. We'll have slight pullbacks here and there. But overall, the Bitcoin HBAR pair looks very solid. A lot of altcoins are actually making new all-time highs on their Bitcoin pair, which is very, very good. But in terms of HBAR, I think that it's more than ready to really jump out of its wedge. Now, in terms of Bitcoin, I'm also looking at Bitcoin's dominance, as we do see some bearishness on the dominance, which is very good to see. I think that we come down and retest my 39.66% level. I think that we could see dominance at around the 20s this bull run, and that is something that we've never seen in the past. I think a lot more money is actually flowing out of Bitcoin into altcoins, into NFTs, all this kind of crazy stuff that we see. So honestly, the biggest thing to watch for tonight is just that volatile price action. You might get some good, price action movements on HBAR and also Bitcoin and most altcoins. But tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is the day to watch for the most volatile price action, as we do see, even if we look at the dollar has been grasping some support. It's getting some strength. But the major indices, right? So the Dow Jones overall is the one to really kind of watch for tomorrow, as we did see, this looked pretty rough as we did close out the day on Friday. So overall, we are below the 100-day MA. So we could have a major push down. Just to give you guys an insight right now on the Dow Jones, from this high here to the bottom here was about roughly almost 4%. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but on the Dow Jones, that is. And right now, our overall pullback right now is about at 2.52. I think that we could pull back about 4%. That will bring us down to about 34,000 exact. Now, a lot of people will be going panic mode once this happens, because we will see that reach into Bitcoin as well. Overall, what I'm really kind of watching for is maybe some strength on the Dow Jones. I'm also watching the S&P, right? I told you guys about the S&P 500 as well. They look very bearish. This will most likely come down and retest the 50-day MA if it doesn't grab some strength. And then, of course, I'm also watching the NASDAQ, right? So in regards to a lot of these, indices, these are the key factors to kind of watch for, is just kind of the overall. So I think that this is actually the wrong one. Let me actually just go to TradingView's indices factors. Now, overall, in regards to a lot of these indices, you got to watch for the price action on them, because those are the big key moves when we do see some volatile price action bleeding through the overall market as well. Now, overall, we do see that even the Dow Jones and S&P 500 were obviously very, very bearish. In regards to the NASDAQ, we also see that it was very bearish as well. It actually came down 130, almost 3 points exact. So, in regards to the overall market structure that we are trading in, I think that HBAR is doing very good. I think that it is pulling some very bullish price action moves. But I'm watching the indices tomorrow. I'm also watching the dollar, because that is the key factors to watch for, because no matter how bullish your asset looks, no matter how bullish the market looks, we also have to look at the other leading factors, and that is the indice factors, the dollar factors as well. I know that there is a lot of things to watch for in this market, but I'm telling you guys this because this will also help you make solid, good trades. And overall, when we look at these three are the key factors to watch for throughout the week. In terms of the weekend could be good or bad, just depending on volatility. But the weekends usually do have a slight pullback. So I'm watching the close tonight. I'm also watching the indices tomorrow. I'm also watching the dollar tomorrow. So with that being said, I think that HBAR looks very strong. I think that it looks very good. Who knows what will be happening tonight into tomorrow, but I do think that this week we will retest the all-time high if Bitcoin does allow it, because we do know that Bitcoin loves to pull back on us when we do have some major moves. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.